One of the biggest sports stories of the year is where will Peyton Manning land after getting cut from the Indianapolis Colts? He's been on a road tour right now. We're going to talk to Chris Herring. He's a Wall Street Journal sports reporter about where Peyton's been. He's been on the road, ostensibly looking around for a new home. Do we know who he's looking at?
Yeah, well, kind of the odds right now are on Denver and Arizona, the two places he's visited. The Broncos obviously have Tim Tebow, and so that's gotten a lot of attention, and helicopters flying around to try to meet, figure out where he is and what he wants to do. And then the Arizona Cardinals are also an option too.
What do each of those teams have that would make Peyton want to go there? And then on the flip side, what do they need that Peyton could give them?
Well, Denver, they have a Hall of Fame quarterback who now is with operations and the president of the team, and John Elway. So a lot of people feel like that might be a selling point. They were a good team last year and everyone knew about Tebow, but wondered maybe who was the weak point of the team, or maybe if they'd had a better quarterback, if they could have gone further in the playoffs. So that's probably the selling point with that team. With Arizona, a couple of years ago, they were in the Super Bowl, and they had a quarterback who was very close to, same sort of situation. Had won a Super Bowl somewhere else, like Peyton did. His name was Kurt Warner, and they made the Super Bowl with him. So I think they're kind of one person away from doing it again. If
you had a Denver Broncos with Tebow and with Peyton Manning, who would be the star?
Oh boy, well that's John Elway's problem to figure out that happens. But Peyton Manning, I'm sure if he's healthy, would probably be the guy there.
If he's healthy. Now this is the big question. He was out all of I think the 2011 season. Couple of surgeries for neck injuries. No one's really seen him throw or play on the road. Is that right?
That's right. You figure that these teams have to know something we don't know, as opposed, we haven't seen him really throw much either. There was one video that surfaced that people said was him. You've got to figure that these teams have been in touch with his doctors, have seen all sorts of reports. Maybe they have seen him throw and we, just wasn't on video or something like that. But if they're making a major investment in him financially, you have to figure that they know something that we don't.
Two last quick questions. He quickly said no to several teams like Seattle, Kansas City, Washington, sort of just putting them out of their misery right there and then. Is that sort of the honorable thing to do versus dragging it out and trying to drive up the price?
I think so. I think that's kind of the reputation he has as a very serious-minded guy that knows what he wants and is very, very sure of himself. He wants to win a Super Bowl, so going to a place like Seattle where they haven't sniffed a championship in really any sport in a long time, going to Kansas City that wasn't that competitive this past year and was struggling, even some of the teams that were more competitive than that. Just didn't seem like a fit for him, and why lead them on? He knows what he wants.
Yeah, so. The Super Bowl. He's chasing after his brother on that one. Sure. And Chris, was there ever a realistic possibility that Peyton would retire after the Colts cut him?
I'm sure it's probably crossed his mind. He clearly wants to play. He clearly feels like he's healthy enough to play. But I feel like if he'd known that, he probably would have just gone ahead and done it if he wanted to retire. And I also think the Colts probably wouldn't have made the decision to cut him if they knew or if he was interested in retiring, because they probably took a bit of a PR hit with that too. The owner obviously was really nervous about having to make such a big decision, and easily the most famous athlete in the history of that city. If they didn't have to let go of him and cut him that way, do so publicly, I'm sure they would have found a way to keep him if he was going to retire.
Yeah, good point. All right, Chris Herring chasing Peyton Manning's progress. We'll check back with you. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.